Here, Connor. What kind of car does John Wayne drive?
I don't know.
An Audi, partner! We did it, baby! Play the fucking intro.
Yeah, what's up, motherfucker?
Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers? You're all very welcome to another episode of the Deckchair and Yumz podcast with me, Mickey Bartlett, aka Audi driver, aka Mickey Bartlett the Audi, aka I drive a fucking Audi now. I don't drive it now, I haven't got it yet, but I have bought one. Thank you very much to everyone who's ever paid for a gig or joined our Patreon to help me achieve my dream of buying, well, not my full dream. My full dream is to buy a new one. I've bought a second-hand Audi. And it's...
It's an Audi.
It's
but
an Audi.
What model of Audi did you buy? Was that you were looking for the sort of wee hatchback
I was
one?
looking for the A5.
The wee practical one? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't. I was the A5, sort of looked like a muscle car.
Right.
That I was getting.
So what did you go for?
I got an Audi TT car. Which I've been told by several people is a girl's car.
It is not.
Well, no, I've been told it's a girl's car.
Well, it's a girl's car or a man in the midlife crisis. I think maybe you could...
I'm fucking... Man, here's the thing. I've gone from a Nissan Juke, which is a disabled girl's car, to an Audi TT 2-litre diesel, which is an able-bodied girl's car. So
realistically, a Juke is a fat hairdresser's car.
No, a Juke is
and a
definitely
TT
disabled.
is a really hot hairdresser's car.
An Audi TT. But here's an Audi TT. This is what an Audi TT is, right? It's impractical, right? It looks cool. And it doesn't take itself that seriously.
Yes.
It's me.
It's fucking...
It's me. It's for flaky people.
Yeah, that's why there's two T's at the end of your name.
Exactly. Titty.
Hey!
It also sounds like titties. I love titties, so I grew my own. Yes, I went up.
Do you want to like a spin on my titties?
I don't know if we should talk to you about the car first, or we should explain probably why we're late. Should we do that first?
Yeah, we must. Thank you for everybody for their feedback on Tom's Day. That was a wee filler in between.
Yeah,
we're looking to have that,
but
we had to take a break. Yeah,
I had to take a break last week because bit of sad news. I think I've mentioned it in the podcast once or twice over the last couple of years, but my sort of favourite wee auntie Mo, passed away there last week of the big C, not COVID, chlamydia, and.
Trying to get myself into the zone of being serious, and you fucking.
Man, it's one of those situations. It was now very, very sad because she was my favourite wee auntie. I can't think. I've been asking people. I don't know if other people have the type of favourite auntie that my auntie was.
Okay.
Unmarried, no kids, mad bastard auntie. Right. The kind of woman that you could turn up to her house and go, "I just killed 12 children in a road traffic accident. I was shooting at the side of a car and I accidentally shot 12 children." And she would go, "Come on in, son, put the kettle on and not tell nobody." Right? She was a pistol.
Yes,
of
I like
woman.
it.
So I should probably, I don't know, this is going to sound very, very, not morbid, I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you know when somebody dies and you spend some time with your own family?
Yes.
And then you go, "That's why I'm like this."
Yes. It's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
But with the added morbidity, it makes you realise the darkness of the humour.
The darkness of humour. And my family laugh and get very, very nervous. And so God bless her, right? She went into hospital. This is a true story. Now, my auntie, she was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer.
Yeah.
A year to the day that she passed away, right? So the doctor gave her a year to live.
Oh, no way.
And she took a year to live. My mother's convinced that if the doctor had said 10 years, she'd have been that stubborn, she would have lasted 10 years. So I swear to God, and she died the way she lived, just a fucking crowd we cunt. Like, an absolutely contrary bitch.
And is this on your mum's side?
My mum's side, so my mum's eldest sister.
From Mana originally? Direction? Are they
Not at all, no, Portadown.
Oh, Portadown.
Pretty up by old darling out there.
Was there somebody linked to you was from Anna?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought your mum was originally. Did you not say it was just?
But Granda might have been. I see. My grandfather was adopted, so we don't really know.
Oh, right,
We
okay.
don't know. I probably bucked at least 3 of my cousins.
We'll say from Anna. Oh.
Yeah,
for the crack.
Fucking aye for the crack. Aye, whatever. Me and Arlene Foster's cousins. So yes, we were around at the house, like, and she died at home, and it was a big, massive shout out to people from Marie Curie and all the different sort of palliative care teams that were around working with her.
They're
fucking heroes, man. Absolutely.
You actually couldn't pay them enough.
Genuine heroes, right? So very sad, right? Very stressful week. Stressful sort of week and a half. By fuck Connor Keys, I did some laughing.
Isn't it weird why we have this, especially funerals and wakes sort of thing? Do
you know what? I was trying to explain to certain people about it, and who, there's no way to say this. Protestants don't get it, right? I don't consider myself a Catholic anymore at all. I haven't done for a long time. But there's something very, very therapeutic in that 3-day period the sort of wick.
There's a lot to be said for it. The closure that comes and how quick and efficient, and you think of England where they might wait for 6 weeks for a funeral.
Yeah.
This is like
Totally.
everything stops here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My grandmother passed at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and Undertaker was there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
So I don't know where to start. There was so much that happened, right?
Okay.
So we'll start with the day she actually passed away, right? So my uncle, whose name I won't use just in case, to protect the innocent, but he's my ma's only brother, so fuck it. his name's David, right? So we were sitting in the house on sort of Saturday evening, and everybody was basically taking shifts to stay in the house, and they knew my auntie was on her way out, but they didn't know how long. They couldn't say whether it was hours or days or weeks or whatever, right? So I didn't want to be in the house when she died, right?
Right, okay.
I was like, I'm not fucking cool with that. I'm not going to be able to help. I don't know what I'm doing. They trained on my aunties and stuff on the wee oxygen machine in the bed and all these different things.
I don't think there's much help when somebody actually dies.
Yeah, but it was just the kind of thing of like, I'm going, am I supposed to go clear or just go, well? Do you know what I mean? And I was like...
Is it CPR or a eulogy?
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
know which one you had to do.
And I'm like, and if she's uncomfortable or something like that, what are we going to do? And my uncle has a really bad back and I have shit hands, so I'm going... So my uncle goes, and he's a really deep voice, my uncle goes, do you want to stay with me tomorrow night? But he asked me in front of people, so I was like, aye.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
Fuck's sake. So one of the stories that's so funny is my auntie, God love her, she was in the hospital, she got took in the hospital, she had a wee fall and they found the infection, she had pneumonia, right?
Okay.
Then in the hospital she caught COVID, right? Beat them both. Stage 4 lung cancer and told COVID-19 to fuck off. Right? And COVID
There's
was
no
like,
room at the end.
fuck me, right? I don't even want to fucking deal with this one. So, God love her, she's on that many drugs, she was very confused in the hospital. She apparently phoned the police and was telling people she'd been kidnapped, right?
Right, okay.
Phoned the police she was kidnapped. So we get home, or she gets home, she's very, very weak and couldn't really talk. And she was going, I phoned the fucking police. And there's some of her friends are going, is that right, did you? And I was going, fucking did you? And she's going, I fucking did. She was like, she made my ma look at her phone, and sure enough, there's like fucking 14 calls
my God.
where she'd asked them to fly a helicopter crew and also pick her up on the roof and all this. God love her. Like, but she was compass enough when she was at home to go, what the fuck did they give me? And like, I was out of my head. And I was like, you're getting more of them drugs. Like, gonna be good.
So it was drugs that caused it?
Yeah, I think it was the drugs. Or I don't know if it was maybe she had a bit of a fever or whatever.
I was going to say a fever can do that too,
Yeah, so she'd been a wee bit confused and stuff like that. So they got her home, and 2 or 3 nights people have been taking shifts, and she I think there's a point where I think that someone had told me that like she looked like she was sort of rallying around. She hadn't really eaten for quite a while. Yeah. But there was a day where she just fucking was starving.
Right, okay.
And one of the doctors or nurses sort of explained that it's a thing called, is it terminal agitation?
Oh, right.
Which is basically where when you're dying, your brain kicks into sort of not fight or flight. It basically goes, fuck, we better fucking gear up here and try and prepare, get up out of bed or whatever. So all of a sudden she got her appetite back. She was eating loads of wee fucking yogurts and stuff like that. But there hit a point then where 2 of my auntie, and this is a fucking some of these stories are, I hope people take this in the spirit that I mean this, and that there isn't a family fallout after this, right?
Oh, fuck.
So my auntie Maura, God love her, was like, I think I had to go to the toilet, right?
Right.
She couldn't go to the toilet first of all. Right?
Yeah.
We would constipate or something. Felt like she had to go, couldn't go. So they were like, what do we do? Do we give her a wee laxative? Is that going to interfere with the drug she's already taken? What are we going to do here? My mother, blessed her ass. Right? My ma rolled her sister onto her side, pulled her nightdress up to unveil her bare bum, and then sprinkled it with holy water. Right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Right? Straight away, we were telling everybody my ma gave her the last shites.
Why was she blessed her hole?
They're fucking the round of 8 days, man. Fucking Jesus, take the wheel. Right? So then, God love her, she thought she had to go to the toilet, so she's like,
the fucking indignity of getting.
But man, this is how our man. You haven't even heard the worst. You've no idea what's going on here, right? So then 2 of my aunties are in the house. But we auntie Maura's going, I think I have to go to the toilet. My other 2 aunties start fucking panicking, right? They're under the kitchen. One puts on an apron and pair of like rubber gloves, right? The other one filled the basin with water, like soapy water, so they could help clean her up. One aunt filled the basin up, handed it to the other aunt. The other aunt set the basin on the floor, walked straight out of the house. Right. So they phoned my cousin, who's a nurse. She's going to the toilet. You come round here and help clean her up. My cousin got out of bed 2 a.m, walked into the room, walked back out, and went, she fucking farted. Right? There's a whole panic attack over a fart. God love her, like.
Oh my God.
So then, I guess it's like so on the Sunday then, right? And everybody was talking like this, right? This is where people were coming to the kitchen and they were going,
Oh, yeah.
and you'd be going, what is it?
Oh,
Like,
I remember that.
It's
Yeah.
setting up along now. You're going, right, fucking hell. So I'm sitting, and do you know whenever you're at, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're actually there when someone's taking their final sort of, breaths or whatever, they're about to die. I've never experienced it before.
No,
right?
I've been the night before, but not actually at the time. Yeah,
I've experienced hospitals where people are dying, things like that.
Yeah.
But people have not, because it's such a stressful situation, people end up just saying the most mundane, fucking boring things in the world, right? So I'm sitting in the kitchen with my dad and my mum's brother, right?
David,
right? Oh, fuck, they're going to kill me. My uncle goes, I guess, out of nowhere. Only seen the amount of red lights I hit today. And is that right, David? And he goes, I didn't get the phone call now. This is what I'm saying. Do you know the uncle from Dairy Girls?
we'll call him,
Yeah.
Kevin McAleary.
We could sue the writers of Dairy Girls for character, like identity theft, and I think we could comfortably win, right? He goes, so I didn't get the text in the middle of the night there because I was in my bed, but I got up anyway about 10, half 10 maybe, 11. No, tell you, it was 11:15 because the chase was on repeat. And I get out anyway, and I come up through Lurgan and up past McDonald's, through them lights all right. Next set of lights got dead on, and I got down to the yards there, for 3 a.m. no ball, and up over the roundabout, no roundabout then, into Portadown, round up past the hospital, 3 a.m. lights all right. I came down round past KFC there, dead on, and up into Portadown, through that set, next set was dead on. The man hit one set of traffic lights. I did it in my head. I did the geography. I took him. The story should have been today I saw a red circle. Right. So I'm sitting going, don't look at your dad. Don't look at your dad.
Oh, no way.
And as I looked at my dad and laughed, I realised all the joy had left my body. I can't fucking laugh. That's the most boring thing you've ever said. And he goes,
the life clearly.
but we're all so tired, right? And at one point he just went, you know, the English language must be the hardest language to learn because wind and wind is spelt the same. And I was like, what fucking is fuck off spelt the same as anything? Because this is... So and this is the bit where it gets, and people are going to judge my entire family, right? But if you've listened to this podcast long enough, this next moment will make you go, that's why he's like that, right? So we're in the house. Fuck me, right? There's about 10 of us standing around, right? And my wee auntie, really, really long breaths, right? Very, very hard to watch, genuinely. Watching somebody really just fucking pass into the next stage of existence or non-existence, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And she starts like... Right, and I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you right now, got a wee bit too much for me. I was like, I'm going to go outside and have a wee cry, right?
Aye.
Last time we did a podcast, we talked about how I cried in musicals. Different type of crying.
It is, yes.
Me crying in musicals is very much
is
a dignified, oh, that was beautiful. This is a, I can't be seen doing this because I contort, look like Gollum, there's bubbles, and I'm going,
Yeah, that's justifiable.
yeah, I'm doing like just...
Musicals aren't
Right,
justified.
shut up.
Yeah, okay.
You have no idea, you don't know how moving it was. Right, it's the second most moving thing that ever happened to me after my other time. I was Japanese man crying, right? I'm in the back garden. Right? So try me eyes. I go into the house. This is how fucking mental my family are, right? My cousin comes running out of the room, bawling her eyes out. That's her dead, right? Her mother comes running out behind her laughing. It's not! So what was happening was, God forgive me, as her breaths were getting longer and further apart, they would just go, oh, that's her. That's her.
Oh, no.
Right. And then she'd fucking start again, because that's the type of woman she was, right?
Oh, she was
I swear to God, she was winding people up right to the end. Like,
Which is something I think I would definitely do. If I could have the power to do it, I would do it.
So here's what happened, right? We're all standing, and she's... And all of a sudden, my mum and my sisters and stuff start being like, "Just you go." And it was lovely. And I'm not making fun of them. It genuinely was lovely, right? To have somebody, she's no kids, surrounded by her loved ones, in no pain, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
really
okay.
changed your perspective on life and stuff, right? So they're there, and they were getting like, "Just you go on now. Don't be worrying about us. We'll all be all right. We're all here. Go you up to, like, you know, Granny and Granda, and everything will be all right. You put that on." And then she breathed out, right? And then everyone was like, "I think that's her now." And she breathed in again. And my auntie went, "Would you go on? Fuck you!" So now
Like she's afraid to go down the slide. Go on, fuck you, would you?
Now we're all laughing, right? Now every fucking one of us is like laugh crying. So then... So she passed away at whatever time, right? Somebody goes, "Does anybody have the time?" My uncle looks at his watch and goes 52:48 because he counted his steps instead of telling the time. So then the next day I went, "Fuck me." See, the couple of days, they brought her body home, right? And I was stuck behind my eldest relative, an 80-year-old man. We're walking up this week close to try and get... Because I was helping lift their coffin out of the back of the hearse, right? So I'm stuck behind this old man on a cane, right? And he's too deaf for me to go, "Brian, could you move?" So my ma was way up ahead talking to undertakers, and she looks back, she's going, Michael. And I'm trying to me to come up and lift the coffin,
lift
right?
the coffin?
But I'm trying to signal old fat fucking deaf man in front of me.
Okay.
We're going to need 2 coffins. My push this cunt, right? So she's going, Michael.
I thought you'd have been more signaling going,
My sister's behind me. She goes, "Michael." I turned around. I went, "Watch, what? Mum's looking at you." I'm like, "I fucking know." And it's the situation, I talked about this before, when you have to go and lift a coffin, women start sniping, and you go, "Do you know what? You do it then." Equality. Put your back into it, girls. Away you go, right?
Yeah.
So we're going up then, put the coffin in the wee trolley, wheel my auntie down in the house, and the undertakers take her into the living room, and they're like, "Right, lad, just give us a wee bit of privacy here. We'll set the room up." And I don't know what to do. Get everything set up, all nice stuff. So we're all 20 of us, right? Stand, waiting to like get let back into the house, right? So my mum's there. God, my ma genuinely was with her, and all her sisters were with her for the full year. She was sick. Took turns staying over and looked after stuff like that. So it's really emotionally fucking charged moment. So my old uncle standing beside his daughter, who's about 42, right? And he's crying his eyes out because his niece is dead, right? And I think he's got that. You can tell it by his eyes. He's got the weird sort of guilt of, "I shouldn't be out living."
You know, survivor's guilt sort of thing. Yeah.
So my ma looked at my cousin and went, "I give your daddy a wee hug." No, that kind of. You know what I mean? And my cousin went, "Fuck off." Right. So now my mum's like, "Oh." Right. We're standing outside. One of my cousins tried to look in to see if the undertakers needed any help. Tripped. Now the laughter spreading now, right?
What do you mean tripped?
Just tripped over and they got, we stumbled, right?
There's nothing worse but when you're in an era of tension and then that happens.
Right. So now the laughter's spreading, right?
Fuck.
And we're all fucking like shoulder going, right? And then somebody goes, "Where did you trip?" And he pointed, and she went to see where he tripped, and fucking tripped where he was pointing. Right? So now we're all like, nobody can stop laughing. My 11-year-old cousin's their first funeral. She's like, "We're all going to hell." You can see straight through my auntie's house, right? So in the front door, you can see the back door. My dad arrives late, tries to come through the back door. 20 of us laughing are going, "Get fucking out of the fucking back." And the whole time thinking, if the neighbours look out the window here, they're just going to see 20 psychos. Then you've got 2 days of the week where it's all these people. So we have a big family, so there's people I haven't seen since there was no age. I remember last time I saw you were still stuck on a dough. And you're like, "I definitely saw you in Tesco's there about a week and a half ago."
And it's venison.
And you can't remember anybody's name. Venison, well done. It's wild deer. Can't remember anybody's name, trying to be dead polite. Constantly I'm getting, "Don't you even tell any fucking jokes in there, huh? Don't you even tell any jokes in there." And I'm like, "Morgan, I'm not coughing, let me inside. Yes, fucking kill me." At one point I walked into everybody was smoking in the garage, so I had a tally of the amount of times I heard, "Oh, smoker's corner." Right? Just wee mundane things, right? We had also got my auntie cannabis to help her. You were involved, remember? You helped me. I mean, your friend helped me. I mean, the guy you don't know. We got her some edibles and like cannabis oil to help with her appetite and pain relief. And one of my cousins went. She didn't take it all. All of a sudden, we were taking turns going up the stairs trying to find it. Like you think you're trying to steal her jewelry or something? We're like, nah, just get some of the fucking drugs. Right. My cousin said he gave her these drops, and she said this before she died, obviously. She could end up so stoned. She sat looking at her feet for 15 minutes, trying to figure out whether or not her shoes were tied, and then she realised she was wearing slippers. So, at one point, I walked into the garage, right, and this is just. I just never thought I would hear this sentence, right? I walked into the garage and I heard this woman who I don't know, who turned up on a Zimmer frame but clearly didn't fucking need it. Hashtag pour it down. And all I hear is this woman going, no, I'm sorry, no harm to you, but see if you're using somebody else's bed as a fucking toilet, that's too far. And I'm like, somebody shit in the bed, I'm leaving. I can't even.
Why did you leave?
Because I can't go.
I would want to know what that conversation was.
I can't go, okay, Johnny, from the top. But it was just, I found myself getting snobby. I'm like, a fucking benefits fraud is given up about somebody shit in the bed. And then I'm thinking my man should have blessed her ass. Maybe would have helped her. So there's like 2 or 3 days of that sort of stuff. We all sat up all night. So me and my dad, 2 uncles, a couple of my cousins stayed like all night before the funeral. So we're fucking exhausted. Like I still haven't got my sleep pattern back to normal.
Right, okay, yeah.
Absolutely fucking.
It's weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like, and again, you're in that weird situation where you're sort of telling jokes and laughing, and then every so often, it's all grown men, big men, all going, oh, fuck me, like it's God love her.
And then you did the overnight stay?
Did the overnight stay,
yeah. The stay awake?
The stay awake, yeah. But no drink. So that was the thing. So apparently she had said she didn't want any men drinking in the house during the wake. Okay. But they kept telling me that, and I took it personally. I was like, did anybody else hear this fucking rumour, or is that just her final fuck you?
Or why have I heard it 27 times
exactly,
in this house?
No drinking. I don't need drink. If I find this weed, we're dead on. But then at one point, I think it was actually the morning of the funeral, so I went home, got changed, got my suit and stuff, and came back over. And me and my mum were walking up behind the hearse. Oh man, fuck. I spit is bad. So I was
what the fuck?
I was doing second lift, right?
Right.
Kept in slippy hands. Now, if you ever lifted a coffin, you'll know you don't actually lift it with your hand. It's just resting on your shoulder, right?
Shoulder, yeah.
But the hand is used to keep it steady, right?
Yeah, keep it steady, yeah.
Right?
Maybe take a wee bit of weight off the shoulder too, yeah.
So my hand, with no grip on it, is fucking slipping like fuck, right? Now, it wasn't panicking, I wasn't going to drop it, but I was found myself being like, this is getting a wee bit.
You were middleman, were you? You weren't
There was only 4 of us.
Oh, 4?
She was only 5 foot or 4 foot 11.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, and we were at the top end, like. So as we were walking, I turned to my cousin, like, Pete, come over here and just put your hand here a wee second, just like change my grip, and I can hear them going, oh fuck, like think I'm going to drop her. So we eventually get her in the hearse. That's grand. I turn around, all my family who are grieving are going, you near drop there, you. I mean, we're fucking pack of animals.
My family be the same.
So I'm walking up behind I hadn't talked to my man like 3 days because there was just so many people floating about. And we're just walking up and I'm going, how are you keeping you alright and stuff like that. And she was like, that's another thing. So I fucking when she died, cried my eyes out, right? Yeah. Not ashamed to admit, blubbering, right? Yeah. Absolutely crying. Yeah.
And my ma, again, justified.
Yeah, my ma talking to my sister the next day goes, Michael cried. Making fun of me for it. Get out of fuck. There's a reason, I guess. Right?
So, next to me buying a TT.
Right, exactly, right. So we're walking up the street and I went, oh no, there's one I have to tell you off camera. I can't tell you this in real life because it's too no, I can. Oh fuck it, I'll tell you this. No, I can't. I'll tell you. I can't. I literally, it's too dark and weird to put on the internet, so I'll tell you afterwards. Okay. So we're walking up the street and I'm like saying to my mum, like, oh, she looked well in the coffin and stuff, and mum went, hi. So she didn't really look much like herself. And I went, I was thinking that she didn't really look like herself. I wonder, like, what do you think it was? And my mum went, her fucking mouth was shut. And she goes, I'm not saying that to be rude. She's like, genuinely, she'd never stop talking. Like, she was like, my auntie was the kind of woman, see if she liked you, she loved you. See if she didn't like you, she fucking hated you. So, we're at the chapel, everything goes fucking alright. And then we get to the graveside. And again, Connor, now, I didn't know this, but apparently my auntie had been doing Italian lessons with my uncle, right?
What?
So he was there, fucking gelato. Pizza, margarita, right? The
What do
priest.
you mean? What he was doing a prayer or something?
No. What do you hear?
He was just reading
So
dictionary.
my uncle, my auntie had been taking these wee Italian lessons online during lockdown or something like that, or maybe when she was sick, just something to keep her occupied.
Yeah,
whatever it was. The priest got wind of this, but he's a showbiz priest. So without telling anybody,
Oh, no.
after she'd been lowered into the grave beside my grandparents, the priest just breaks into Italian, starts singing this real Italian fucking beautiful
An aria?
a beautiful song, right? Didn't tell any of us. So now there's 30 people standing around a fucking open grave, laughing their bollocks off. Do you know, like everybody was looking up, like, and then all of a sudden, and we all just go, oh fuck.
There's nothing worse when
my
you know.
auntie, and for anybody who's not on Patreon, you're not going to see this. My auntie was like this to her daughter. Laughing her bollocks off. They made us wear masks in the chapel, and anybody who kept the mask was like straight up, just fucking shaking.
That's the only good thing you get away with is the shoulders. You can pretend you're crying.
Oh my god, man!
That's the only way.
My
you can
eyes
disguise that.
weren't dry for 3 days between crying and laughing. My eyes fucking. So that's just the Auntie Maura funeral story. If you, I don't know if you are the kind of people who say prayers, but if you have no direct tonight, one from Auntie Maura.
Have on for Andy
Fucking
Moe, yeah.
salut.
Fucking absolutely.
Slancha. Fucking
Yeah.
cheers. Nostrovia.
It's all, but it is. I mean, you always find you have one of those aunts or uncles that you're closer to.
Oh,
than the
man, yeah,
rest.
100%. I think it was the fact that because she didn't have any kids of her own, like,
Yeah.
she did kind of treat us all as her own kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one of my favourite stories, she came to see me do stand up in the Armagh Marketplace one night, and she had this thing, she had space between her teeth, right? And for some reason, I always felt like she had food in her teeth. Because she would suck her teeth when she was talking to you, right? And she would get dead serious, and she always had jingly bracelets, right?
Right, okay.
But she didn't really. It was like her nails would click. She had this weird.
Right, okay.
Right? I fucking loved it. There was something real. Like, you could look at her talking and go, you're a bad wee cunt. Fucking loved her. But anytime I was around visiting her, if one of her friends came in, right, she would tell the same story, right? So basically what happened was, she came to see me do the Armagh Marketplace. A crowd of girls I went to uni with were at the show that night. And my auntie was with her friends, so I was like, listen, up for 2 seconds, I'm just going to sit and have a quick catch up. I haven't seen these things in maybe 5 or 6 years, whatever. Yeah. So she would go, see that fella there? This is a perfect impression, right? I went to see him do stand up in the marketplace, and he could have had any woman he wanted, that fella there. The women were flocking at his feet. And I would go, now Maura, you know the crack. Those are my friends from university. They were just my mates. And she'd go, you're right, lass, you could have booked any one of them. But dead serious. Like, she would nearly be annoyed you weren't riding them in front of her.
Pure confidence in your ability.
She once gave me a carrier bag full of condoms and went, be careful, son, they're nearly out of date. And genuinely thought that I'd be able to book 300 times in about 6 weeks. She was brilliant.
Mighty, I love that. There is always somebody in your, it's a different type of loss.
Yeah.
Than another auntie or uncle. You know what I mean? It's a weird. Yeah.
Aye. And I think it's just the kind of, with a long illness and stuff as well, it was one of those situations where you're genuinely glad for her when she finally passed away and wasn't in pain.
Yeah,
And
well, that's
you're
the key
just
thing, isn't it?
happy, that's the thing, you know what I mean?
But it's a long old fucking year, and especially for the person who's sick, it was obviously.
And because of during COVID, that was the one shitty. Now, the one thing that I was kind of proud of was that my family insisted she wasn't a COVID death because it was still within 28 days.
Right, yes, okay.
And there was a danger that would have happened.
Yeah.
So one of my aunties...
Still doing that?
I don't know if they are or not, but I know that was one of the chats. One of my aunties was like, if they even dare put COVID down as her...
Did she have a positive test in the last 28 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she would have been.
But then we'd sort of made the point of going, if she still had COVID, why'd you let her come home and get us all sick? He's fucking crazy. It's like a time bomb. But yeah, big COVID was stage 4 lung cancer. That's the kind of fucking bad bitch my auntie was like.
That is a bad
fuck you, COVID.
Yeah,
fuck you, pneumonia. To the point where I thought, I genuinely, in her final moments, I thought she would just sit up, spit out a tumour and go, fuck that, that's that done. Like, I'm surprised she died of cancer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, there is something about this country. I mean, English people don't get it. Well, maybe Protestants do to a certain extent. But the whole Catholic thing of the 3-day and it's military operation.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Between seats, gazebos, fucking geezers.
Yeah.
They're not men.
One English token fella. All right, guys. Sorry for your trouble, mate. Power, innit?
But you do have it. It's like an operation, and it's in place and it's done, and then like especially in rural areas here. I don't know. Part of that will be the same.
No, I remember the first time I saw a sign for a wake was on the way up to Oma.
Right. Yeah.
And I fucking laughed between Ballygolly Roundabout and Daly's Comedy Club because I had never seen it before.
It's a relatively new phenomenon. That,
yeah, well, I mean, that's about
5-6 years.
Yeah, it would have been about that.
But it's everywhere now, and you're like, oh.
Aye, because that was kind of like there's a weird thing I find it when you're at wakes that do you know when you're going to a wake and you're like, fuck, what am I going to say here? And you're kind of hoping it isn't the immediate family opening the door so you can just kind of eyebrows up and fucking all that sort of stuff.
Or you're only there because you know one person.
Aye, going in the fucking
like somebody you work with and you don't know anybody else in the family. They don't know who you are, and you're like, oh, I work with John. And you're like, oh, right, okay, I'll go and get John. And you're standing by John. Hello.
Yeah. Do you want a wee sandwich? No, I'm alright. Do you like a wee
cup of tea on the bus?
Yeah. But there's something whenever you're in the house and you're sort of, you know, quote unquote hosting the wake.
Yes. Oh.
The other side of the door, right? So outside the door, somebody's really nervous, doesn't know what to say, trying to show respect. And inside the door is,
different
see if that fucking doorbell goes for more fucking time. I swear to fuck.
But there is a different vibe in it, and then you forget all that when you become the person going to a wake then.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like day 3 or the second day.
Yeah.
You know this family has been doing what you were talking about. They've had the laugh, they've had the crying, they've had the, you know, the commiserating fucking and thinking back over memories and all. But you're not. You're like, in your head, you're going, every one of them is a fucking emotional wreck.
Aye. Yeah, they must be devastated.
They must be devastated. I don't know what to say. And you realise they're not. And they come out and go, oh, come on.
It is kind of strange how, because I suppose that is the sort of situation where the grief stage of it's the wake's on, it's a coping mechanism, I think, because everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
That you've wee moments you're crying, you're laughing, all that sort of stuff. It's only after that you actually have to deal with it.
Yeah.
I always think if you're in England and you're waiting 6 weeks to bury a loved one, then you have 6 weeks of like Bermuda Triangle purgatory. Would it be weird? Then you bury them and then you grieve? Is that?
I'll tell you even worse than that. I'll tell you what happened to us with my mother-in-law, who passed away last year 2 years ago during COVID. Was another thing I never put any sort of wealth behind or any power behind was the wake and what it did for meeting people.
Aye.
And for people paying their respects. So, like my wife, her mother passed away and there was no wake. And in one sense, it was great for the family because they ate together. They had, you know the way you're in a busy wake, nobody gets to sit together. You get the cup of tea, you get something. This was like meals together and everybody was eating. But for nearly a full year afterwards, people were still coming up. Oh, I didn't see you at the time, your mum's. So it's a constant reminder.
Yeah.
Always been reminded. Always been brought up again. When you go to a shop, you haven't seen. Whereas in those 3 days, you see everybody you need to see, or anybody who wants to see you sees you, but you don't. So then you're constantly being reminded. So she's like, not forgetting about it. You don't forget about it, you lost your mother or whatever, but she'd be just randomly in a shop and then somebody going, I didn't see you during the wake. And it's 3 months later and you're like, oh fuck, somebody just brought up mummy. You know, there's something to be said about the wake where you get that dealt with, where you get that sort of sorry for your troubles kind of thing over and done with. And it wasn't until COVID came along, you're like, fuck, there's a benefit to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
For a long time afterwards, you're going to be meeting people.
I think we were all really grateful that even the fact that we were allowed to be in the house with her.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's been a long time of her illness where you were too afraid to go over.
Yeah, I mean, especially like our family, or my wife's family, still, would you believe, still recovering from the only 10 people at the funeral.
Aye.
So, and they had like 16 essentials.
Aye.
And 6 had to be like cast out, and like it's really fucking
disgusting, like,
horrible. What
did you
they
see
had
the
to
thing
do.
that because we were talking just wrapping on about the weird things that happened during COVID. I saw an article today. There's a man and woman from somewhere down south, and they're refusing to pay a fine for breaking lockdown to go to mass.
Right.
Because Easter Sunday they found that there was some church in a different county.
Right. Okay.
That they were letting anybody in.
Right.
And I find it very interesting. A lot of people are going fucking fair play to them. Whereas a year ago they would have went, well, that's the rules.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely lasting damage to, like,
yeah, there's
definitely,
like
if my aunt had died a year ago, we'd have been fucking.
You wouldn't have had that time.
You wouldn't have
had it, yeah, and you wouldn't have had that goodbye time. You know, as a family. Because again, as I say, I'm going to use my wife's example during COVID. All they had was their immediate family because they were a bubble.
Aye.
You had to operate in a bubble, so the people weren't able to come along and even say their goodbyes.
Aye. It's fucking disgusting.
So fucking hard, and that's why you multiply it by how many other families across the whole world had to suffer through that. It was terrible. But no, there are benefits to awake, and as I say, whenever you're part of it, and you're part of, especially the overnight gang.
Yeah.
If you're part of it, so when my granny passed away, 3-4 years ago, I think there was about 12 of us, all cousins.
Aye.
No aunties and uncles, just the cousins, and fuck, it was.
Oh, man.
It was unreal.
We had
Well,
it,
not in my badness, but
Yeah,
just
yeah.
when you went over stories and realizing your younger cousins are completely different generation.
Yeah.
And like your memories are different completely to what actually happened. But
Yeah,
it's like,
that's one
it's
thing.
mad.
Like, I have a cousin who's maybe 23, and even me and him chatting, I was like, "Fuck, we've never actually hung out
right?
with you being a grown up."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
we've never
know,
been
it's
for a
weird.
pint before, like, or
Yeah.
we've.
Because I'm the eldest of 16 grandkids, so I'm the eldest at 40, and the youngest one's 10.
Aye, that's a big leap.
So
Like,
there's a 30-year gap between. So every time I'm with people, are like, "This is your niece." I'm like, "No, it's my cousin," but I may as well be my niece.
Yeah, because I think I'm the second oldest. I'm trying to think, who's the youngest one in our house? Maybe my cousin who's 23.
Right, okay.
Maybe him.
And would you be the eldest? Then you know,
second
second
oldest,
eldest.
yeah.
Okay. Who's oldest?
My cousin Grania, who's only 4 years older than me, but she calls me son.
Right. Okay.
You're well, son. I'm like 35, man. I drive an Audi.
And what are you? I forgot. I never asked. I was up recording with the other Bartlett today. What are you, Kieran?
So
I thought you were
Kieran's
first cousins.
No, third. Kieran's dad and my dad are first cousins.
Right. Okay.
I
That
think.
was like me and Terry Keys.
Yeah,
Same thing.
It's weird. When me and my dad were talking about this the other week. My dad didn't know, and this is in Belfast, like, you know, growing up in the 70s, 80s, whatever. Didn't know that Kieran's dad existed until
Right.
maybe like my granny died, or do you know what I mean? Like such a
right,
big
okay.
family. Like,
Jesus,
that's back in the
that's
day when
massive.
there was no
Yeah.
Joe bags, nobody was pulling out. So the families are that fucking big, nobody knew who anybody was.
Fucking hell, that's mad. You wouldn't meet them till the funeral or something.
Yeah, because I think I only met Kieran.
I've had that before where I've never met like my mum's cousin's children until you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's the way, but I've never.
I always laugh. There's another funeral chat too. I remember when Kieran's dad died, we were up at the funeral, and one of Kieran's brothers. So this is Kieran's from a big family.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you half of them.
Okay,
like,
right.
I know Kevin, I know, and they've all got nicknames. So
Right,
I
okay.
sometimes I only know their nicknames.
Right, okay,
One of
yeah.
them's called Shmee, but I think her name's Sheila. I'm not even too sure. One of them became principal of the school I used to go to. I can't remember her name either. Right. But my dad and Kieran's brother outside the chapel just after the funeral of Kieran's dad. My dad was like, "Oh, fucking, oh, sorry for your trouble." And the guy was going, "Go Paddy, fucking, I mean, like, fucking two." Right? And they hugged each other. And they slapped each other in the back that many times. I said it was like two bats fighting. You're watching these two men who just don't know what to fucking do, and it just became. Awful sorry.
You've done that yourself. You've done it. You don't know what to
100%,
do.
like,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely. Two bats.
The worst thing I had was people keep going, "Sorry for your trouble." Went to shake my hand. I would go, "Man, I wouldn't."
Fuck! I never thought of that.
I know, fist pumping cheers. Like, yeah.
Oh, never thought of it. The
Yeah, I
handshakes
try to
and
fucking
the-
kiss men in the cheek like a fucking mafioso.
Oh, I can't touch your hand because I got psoriasis. But I know it was you, Fredo.
Never thought of it. That the amount of handshakes you'd have to do at a funeral or a wake.
100%. People are going,
Oh
"What
my
is a
God.
funeral? Why is there confetti?" I'm just on the stairs. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. So after that sad week, I went and bought myself an Audi. Just to cheer myself up.
Fucking YOLO,
I could
mate,
hear
YOLO.
I could hear my auntie going, "Do it, son. Fucking do it. Fucking do it." I'll tell you what happened, Connor.
What happened? Tell us
So
what
obviously, if you listen to the podcast for a while, you know I've been wanting an Audi for
But an Audi
long time.
A5.
an Audi A5, yes, but I'd never sat in an Audi TT before, right? So what happened was, I obviously have the Nissan Duke.
You do.
Great big car. Owes me nothing.
Oh, you nothing?
Right.
Nothing.
Fucking hate it though. Never liked it. Right? Fucking terrible, dear to tax, terrible hard in the petrol.
It is hard in the petrol now.
Just 1.6. It's only an Oxley, the radio shit, right? Nothing wrong with it, just for the fella I've sold it to. So basically, I was like, right, I'd booked to go. I'll tell you. Well,
Now, let's start from the beginning.
so we're at the funeral, right? We're at the sort of wake area bit of it. Talking to my cousin,
Right.
and he's like, "What are you driving at the minute?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm driving a fucking Nissan Juke, but I'm dying to get rid of it." He goes, "Well, fucking get rid of it." Like. I'm like, this is full blown like quiet. There's a lot of people talking.
Aye.
And I'm going, no, fuck, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to do that tour and get a bit of money, but I'm gonna be careful and stuff like that. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll find it." And he found a C-Class Mercedes.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, that's her." And I'm like, "Fuck me, that's one." He's going, "What are you heck for?" And I was like, "Oh, fucking right, I'd fucking go and have a look at that." AMG, fucking AMG, I'm glad. I don't know what it means. Right?
What just?
So I'm all, "Fuck my own deal." So standing there, I booked test drive of that car, right, for the next day.
Of the AMG?
Of the AMG. So the day after the funeral, I was booked in this test drive. And then what happened was there'd be no drink at the wake house.
Yes.
And there'd been an awful lot of talk of no real drink after the funeral. But I was like, but if I go home and get a bottle of Jameson's on the way, that's not really drinking, like.
No.
That's me having a one-man wake.
Yeah.
Right? So I got awful drunk. When I got up the next day, I was like, no fucking way, I'm test driving the car this morning. I'm down, right? Then I looked at I had a proper look at the Mercedes and I was like, oh, this is a piece of shit.
Right, okay.
And it turns out, I sent it to Geddes and Geddes went, that's not even an AMG. Somebody just put the badge on it.
No way, they put a badge on
Yeah.
it. Fuck, yeah. I gotta be careful of that shit too, yeah.
So then I went to the place where I'm still paying off that Duke and I went, right, I'll go test drive this wee Audi. And I was like, I'm not going to bet.
Now, when you seen her now, did you?
No, here's what happened.
When you seen her,
so
what happened?
My dad was going, you're going to go buy that. And I was like, I'm not. And my mum was going, I guarantee you buy that. And I was like, I'm not. And my girlfriend was all, and I was like, I'm not.
That's uncanny.
Sir. Right? So I was like, I'm not going to do it. Right? So I thought, right, I'll go up and I'll pay off the Duke. Right? I'll just pay whatever I've left to pay off that car. That means I can go look about, see something I really like, maybe try and find something that I can go, that's definitely the car I want to get.
Yeah.
Fucking
Something practical for your career and moving
around, right? Blah, 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 right? Trade it in something nice, something company, something, right? So, but I'm test driving an Audi TT, right? So I get there and the guy pulls up and the fucking sleek black Audi TT, but unbeknownst to me, he'd put black alloys on it, right? So now that's gone from a hairdresser's car to the fucking Batmobile. and I'm standing like, oh fuck.
I'm sorry, Mike, but it's only a set of alloys. Like, it's only so much an alloy can do.
Connor, I swear to God, the change it put on it, I was like, fuck. Like, it just made it look class, right? So I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna buy this car. Right? And then I'm like, I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna bet. And the guy's talking me through all these fucking different bits and pieces of the car, and I'm going, all I can hear is all because my brain's going, don't fucking bet, don't fucking bet, don't fucking bet, don't fuck. So then I sat in it, and I'm like, oh no, oh right. And then he was like, let's go, and I went to grab the keys to start it, and he went, oh no, it's keyless. It's keyless. And he's just that wee button there, and I pressed the button, and the car went, and I'm like, much is this? So I took it for a test.
I must have loved seeing you coming.
I took it for a test drive, and the guy was like, well, he was going, now with other people coming in today to see this, and I'm going, you don't have to spill the shit. I'm like, it's all, you've already sold it. Phone every cunt that's coming here. And I know you think I'm like, I know you think you're a good salesman right now, but I'm just very impulsive, and I love this car, right? There's no room in the back seats.
No.
There's no radio controls on the passenger side, so I'm in control of everything. It's essentially a vasectomy on wheels, right? and I was like,
would there even be room for a wee bit of nookie in there?
What I think would be it's a wide cabin, like.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Depending on the size of the woman, right now.
What about the car?
The big old bonnet. Do you know what I mean? And she's lower, so you couldn't enter. So, what were you going to say there? Did we just? You ask me a question? So yeah, basically I was like, I absolutely want this car. And the guy was like, so what way would you want to do it? And I went, well, I'd like to pay about this much a month.
Well, please tell me you got something off the price.
Here's what happened, right? So when I bought the Nissan Juke from this, it's the same company but a different branch, right? Okay. And what happened was I was broke and needed a car, right? So I had the old Ford Focus, it was falling apart. That's right. And I went to the place and I saw that Nissan Juke online. I want to buy it today. I want to leave here in it today. I need a car, right? And the guy was like, how much can you afford a month? And I was like, I want to get it down to about 100 quid a month. So he goes, no problem. 5 years, £100 a month. I'm like, great. Then when I got home, I went, this car is £4,500. It's going to cost me about 7.5, 8 grand. By the time you pay it off, right? Yeah. Which is why I was going down to pay it off. Now, what has happened, thankfully, is that because second-hand cars are going up because of they can't get the chips and the COVID and all that sort of stuff. The guy goes, if you try to sell this car a year from now, you'll get nothing for it. But he goes, today I'll give you £4,000 for it, right? So I essentially got what I paid back.
Fuck, matey.
Right? So
how many years have you had it?
2.5.
Fuck,
it's 2014, like. So paid off the Duke, then got a certain amount off the Audi, and then he was like, so how much do you want to pay a month? And I went, about X amount a month. And he was like, right, well, based on this deposit, it'll be this amount a month. And I was like, well, what about this deposit? And he's like, it'll be that amount a month. And I'm like, what about that deposit? Because all I'm thinking about is the monthly cost of it. So I did put down a hefty old deposit now.
Right.
And then
Monthly wise, but it's not going to, is there much variation?
£25 a week more than
Lethal.
like.
No, my problem is whenever you sent me the picture and I was thinking, we can't lap in that thing. I won't get out of it.
Man, I converted into like
I'll get in, but I'm not getting out.
I did make this noise getting out of it.
Oh man.
And straight away, like, my girlfriend was like, you're going to look like a fucking retard in that. My dad was like, are you sure now? Anybody you know was like, you're going to look stupid. And I'm like, aye, but I already look stupid.
Yeah, I'm not
and I quite like, do you know how stupid I'm going to look though? Because I want to take care of this car. I bought myself a pair of driving gloves so I don't get skin on the floor. And I'm not joking. They arrived at my house today.
Have you actually bought
leather ones? We hold
leather driving?
In case I need to slap a cunt.
You are getting so close.
It's just in case my boyfriend gives me any cheek.
You're getting so close to Alan Partridge. It's beyond fucking.
TT.
If you had to come in with a Lexus, that'd have been it, man. You fucking done.
I'm so fucking excited. Like,
leather driving gloves. I cannot wait. We have to do a vlog.
But you know why?
Can we do it? Is there any way of doing a vlog of you?
An Audi,
collecting the Audi,
yeah,
and then the first time, like, because I can see Highway to the Danger Zone music, right? I can see aviators, the brown leather, like, are they brown or black? Black leather gloves.
Not a dick.
I can see a scarf. There's gonna be a scarf.
No, it's the scarf's whatever.
Maybe if the top came off, maybe there was.
It's a hard top now.
It's a hard top. And I can guarantee there's going to be the Karate Kid soundtrack.
See, it was either the other option would be turn up in a tank top with a crucifix on it and I'd be like, we're family. I was thinking about doing that kind of like, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Then Diesel, Red Diesel.
Yes, you be Red Diesel.
So yeah, that's me. Yeah, laundered Diesel. But yeah, that's
cheaper, but still gets the job done.
It gets the job done. Now it'll ruin the paint, but fuck it. They're dipping, boys. They're dipping. Bomb. So yeah, no. The thing is, I still haven't got it because the bank holiday fucked me up.
Yeah.
Because they had to wait and get in the finance, and obviously, you know, you don't want to be telling the truth when it comes to the bank.
Oh Jesus, no.
And then the place they're showing, they're putting a new time belt on new tires. So it'll either be ready tomorrow, i.e. Thursday, or Friday this week. But I'm away at the weekend, so it might not get until Tuesday.
Do you want me to go and lift it for you?
You didn't mind that.
I wouldn't get out. I get in alright.
Plus, I just can't wait. Like,
I would have to roll out. And that would be a problem.
It was tough enough, like, because it's bucket seats as well, so you have to kind of lift your ass over the wee edge of the seat.
What?
You get bummed a wee bit, like.
Buckets?
It's so comfy to drive.
Bucket seats?
No, I will say this. The guy was quite clever in that he took me on a route that didn't include any speed bumps, and there was one speed bump just as we arrived back to the place, and I was like, oh, you feel that? Compared to a Duke?
No, she's lowered.
But she's not lower, it's just a low car. But compared to the Nissan Duke, where it doesn't go fast enough to cause any damage.
No.
Do you know how slow that Duke is, Connor? I was driving it one time and I was overtaken by a moth. I remember the day I looked at the window and the moth was going, you there?
Pull in, you can't.
Fucking move in.
I'm going, fuck me. And obviously the moth got to the front of the car, my headlights were on. Carnage. Had to go to a moth awareness course. Just me and a big blue light. How to do a moth hazard perception. Click every time you see a moth. Then a moth flew in, and I was all, boys, is he supposed to be here? He was caught speeding through. He was doing 45 and a 30. Fuck me, what are moths like? Fuck motherfuckers.
First moth that doesn't like to pull over.
Oh, because they close. Is that how you joke about them being close?
Kind of eat close, but it doesn't work.
Not a bad attempt.
Take more time next time.
Not a bad attempt, I have to say.
Talk long enough.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't
worth it. No.
It was decent. So yeah, that's all my crack at the moment. Just Auntie died, bought a car.
I just, you know, out of all of this, you know, it's the blessing of the hoop is
the best bit of all of it.
Not even. It's the best. It's the most concerning, but also the most ingenious. I think, in a way, I mean...
I would say it's an act of desperation, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's ever worked. I don't know if anyone's ever been like erectile dysfunction.
I don't know what was option 2. Like, if the holy water didn't work...
See, to be honest with you, it completely backfired because in the bed beside her they found a load of loaves and fishes and she couldn't swallow anything. Just turned her piss into wine. I was putting a fucking bag under the catheter, a glass under the catheter bag.
Maybe that's the problem. You had a catheter and not a crucifix.
That's,
You know what I mean? That's what's needed.
You can't put a crucifix in because it comes out 3 different directions. Jesus ends up doing that. Fuck me.
A constafix.
Jesus Christ.
No, sure. If we didn't have death, what would we
I thought a
have?
face full of vinegar was bad. Jesus Christ. I mean, me.
Oh no, that's not right.
Any crack in your shells? No.
I've seen that. No, we were. I think actually, to be honest with you, there's no point talking about any other topic now.
I'm trying to think what else. Oh, actually, I was down in the Laugh Lounge in Dublin the weekend as well.
Oh, how'd that go?
Very, very interesting. Now, there's something about Dublin, Connor, that has made me go fuck the United Ireland forever.
Yeah.
It's the kind of town you can be in. And you could be walking now, I would say, fucking half a mile, and you'd see 3 or 4 piles of shite and not one dog. There's definitely humans taking dumps. It's fucking...
I've heard it's got really
No,
bad. And I love that city, but fuck.
It's a mixture between crackheads and then just people on electric scooters. Right?
Yeah.
So you just see people that are dead happy on an electric scooter and then fucking cunts arguing with buses. The fuck are you doing, you cunt? I was walking back to my car, right? And I park. It's up from O'Connell Station, I think. I don't even know the name of the street.
Okay.
I know when you come into Dublin, there's a pub called the
Connolly
Owl
Station?
Triangle. Do you know where the Owl Triangle pub is?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Turn left down there, and then there's free parking down the bottom of the quays.
Down by Parnell Street.
Aye, down there. That's what there's. Down Parnell Street, by. So I just park there because it's free.
Yeah.
And as I was walking back to the car after the gig, there was 2 young fellas on a. What's the fancy name for a scrambler? Motocross, are they a motocross bike?
It's a motocross.
No, they're on a motocross bike. They're on a scrambler, right? Not an egg between them. But
A motorised BMX.
they were like, you buy fucking Terminator 2.
Aye.
Aye.
Evil Knievel.
Same difference. Anyway, so the 2 of them were on the back of this bike, and this is what point. I don't know if I told this on the other podcast, like we recorded it, but the moment you realise, oh fuck, I'm definitely older, right? So one of them's obviously on the back, holding on to his mate's waist. The guy just ripped a wheelie, right? And he's the whole up the street just right. Dead
On the
impressive
wheelie?
on the wheelie.
Right, okay.
With a guy in the
With
back.
a guy in the back? Fuck,
Dead
man.
impressive, right? And all I can think is, fuck, he's no lights. He's going to get killed. He's going to get killed. So the guy just rips the wheelie up the whole way up the road. And then a guy on a push bike comes past me, and like the only person on the street goes, "The fuck was that?" Like, and just kept going. And so it's that flip side of scumbag, lovely Dubliner.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that. I know. But the thing is, the scumbags were always in the minority. Usually, I'd always go for a wee spliffy and a liffy, and like there's the ratio was quite low.
Aye,
because sometimes there's an aroma that would attract them out of the wilderness.
That's everything me and you as well, because you go for a spliffy and the liffy, and I go for a fucking loin in the boin. A fucking gram in the barn, huh? Let's go for it. I go for a bit of fucking special K in Loughney. That don't make sense. That's just cereal.
A sniff on the lift.
A sniff on the left. That's good. Rivers. Come on, now, what else have we got? What have we got? What rhymes with Amazon? Amazon on the Amazon? Right, don't go. Anyway, keep going with it. Dublin's a shithole.
Yeah, it's sad to see. I loved going down there, but yeah, the ratio has now got a lot higher.
Laugh Lounge as well. Awful amount of very, very attractive people.
Yes.
But also a serious amount of extensive plastic surgery.
Ooh.
Like,
that's
like 90s porns
Oh, right.
Plastic
I'm starting to
surgery.
see some of that happen.
A lot of that.
Now, I'm not
going
seeing
on.
it around locally in Tyrone, even though I can see a few fillers and lips and all that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in Belfast last week when I was up for Lavery's, and I seen a two people, on different occasions, two women. I was like, oh my god, that looked like
Yeah.
you know the LA stuff,
The sore lips.
like the
It looks-
real
it looks
bad.
you've been
Like,
slapping a lip
but not
a
only that,
hedge.
but also looks like the surgeon was a terrible surgeon.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, fuck.
I always think whenever the lips, especially when they put shiny lip gloss on,
Yeah.
I always think it looks like you've stood at a tree and your mate's held a nettly branch and just kept going. I mean, that's you, Siobhan.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Listen, I mean, I know what it does for the confidence of the said person that does it, and all for you, fair play to you and all the rest. But just know it looks fucking
It's
ridiculous.
weird. And as graphic as this is, there's times where I'm like, I would love to have a big fake lip blowjob just so I can go, can you feel that? Because you ever see somebody with fake lips eating?
I would ask
And
that
they
question
they
even
to-
with small lips.
But when they're eating,
Is it in?
they have to be all like, and this is a visual joke for anybody who's not on Patreon, they have to be all like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, they can't
It's like
do
their
that.
tongue hasn't got used to the idea their lips are further away.
Well,
So they're all,
you can't extend. Well, no, fuck. I shouldn't say that. You can't extend your tongue, but you
Yeah, you
can't get surgery to extend it yet. But surely somebody along the line will do because it doesn't pass their fucking fat lips.
Just staple a fucking bit of ham to it.
So that'd be spam, wouldn't it? It's already formed.
I suppose it could be, yeah, spam, even just Play-Doh maybe or something like that, or non-toxic,
we'll
isn't
test
it?
that out,
Yeah.
I would just eat it.
Aye. Or here, tongue. You just put.
Or you could just put
Do you know
more
what I mean?
like pig tongue, yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Give me that pig's tongue.
Mr. Keys, your tongue has rejected the tongue. Oh, fuck. That's what my wife says. I have eaten tongue actually. I had pig tongue in Australia
Well,
at a Korean barbecue.
is it like
Delicious. Tastes like bacon.
Like ham, aye. Nice. Okay.
Really good. I had a lot of weird shit in that Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue would have a lot of weird stuff in it.
Do you know what I was thinking? Obviously, racism's bad.
Racism is bad, yeah.
Pretending to be racist, very, very funny.
Can be.
Do
Yeah.
you know whenever people pretend to be racist, like to see a Chinese person walking a dog and they go, fuck, his pack lunch and run away from him? Or if a Chinese person walking, they go, we're all getting fucking COVID now. Do you know what I mean? Or if a Chinese, there's probably other races, but it's mainly the Chinese this week.
Well, here's the thing. We just to stop you there, Michael. Just when you're going down your sort of isms and your
It's
phobias.
roasting in here, by the way, so that I'm really sorry about that. I was just messing about.
I don't.
I'm obviously not racist.
No, you're xenophobic.
I'm not at all. I just don't like broads or women or gays or black people or Jews. Gypsies.
But isn't
I'm
that-
not
we've
fond of.
talked
I
about
hate
this-
the French. Don't even start me in the Vietnamese. Japanese. Any of the Eases.
We talked about this
Portuguese.
before.
Just fucking, but apart from that, I like everybody.
We class everything as
English
racism.
people don't like them either. Scottish, Welsh. Not a big fan. Women, I've said women, haven't I? I don't like them twice. Don't
Basically,
even start
anything
me on
outside
trannies.
Lurgan.
I literally love everybody.
Too much.
You don't even know what that means.
You can love them too much.
You can't love them too much. No, well, you can't, if it's some sort of priest situation or a Fritzl-esque situation or like a McCann's or something or Michael Jackson.
Oh no, you're
Elvis
doing all
Presley.
right there until
Charlie Chaplin, he loved a little bit too much.
Did he?
Yeah, he's married a 15-year-old. Too much, Charlie.
They all did it back then, boy.
Aye.
Aye.
He didn't even say I do, he just went like that. The priest was all, I guess that means yes. Charlie was all...
So apart from I don't know where the fuck Charlie Chaplin came out of, and how we got
His
to-
mum's vagina.
Oh, his mum's vagina. That's where
Like
it
a
was.
normal person would do. Yeah,
do we-
pretend to be racist, that's what we're talking about.
That's what we were doing. I'm just trying to think there where the flag point was to cut that out.
I'd be grand. Because there's definitely something, the difference in between pretending to be racist. Like, do you know whenever you have a friend who's a different ethnicity or a different sort of religion or whatever, you have wee bits of banter between each other.
Yeah.
It's whenever people mean it is when obviously the problems
Absolutely,
are.
yeah. But we talked about before the difference between racism, sectarianism, and xenophobia. So those things you said about a China person wasn't racist; it was xenophobic.
About a China person?
Yeah.
Is that racist or xenophobic?
A person from China? I don't think so.
A Chinaman? Is that racist?
That would be where you.
Would that be racist?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not written again. It's back into that.
So let's play
Race
a game
is your-
of, let's play a game of which one's racist.
Which one's right? Let's
So,
go.
African American, fine.
Woosah.
That's a Japanese person. Here, let's get the fuck out of here because I'm roasting.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you
Thanks
to all
very
our
much for
patrons.
listening. Yeah, join the Patreon. We are putting up some more.
We're
just rapping
live on the
along.
17th of June.
Live on the 17th of
in
June.
the Black Box, but it's sold out.
It's sold out, so we'll be looking at some more live ones. We have had a brief chat about another special version of the podcast as well. Yesterday we were chatting about, so we'll keep
There
us
may be
informed.
something else coming along on the P.
You heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer will I drive the Juke. Cause I drive a
How'd you get two
Audi.
fucking John Wayne themed cars? The Duke and an
Aye, girls' car's my hole.
Aye.
Get off your horse and suck my dick, Pilgrim. Cheerio.
What's up, motherfuckers?